Mic check. Okay. Mic check. Okay, good morning Discord, good morning YouTube. Today we're going to see if we can make enough money to buy armored rollerblades. Let's do some quick analysis. So in the overnight we had a very significant opening bell, but a significant gap up in the overnight. Significant. It went from, or pre-market rather, from 65 to 70. So we're gonna see this. We're gonna see this this bear cycle, how deep it's gonna dig. Let's see. Let's see if we retest this 69.51 key level right here. We have our 20-day in striking distance. The 20-day moving average is the purple in striking distance, and the 200 right above it. And the 5 is, they're all within striking distance. So we're going to see which one we're going to tag. Let's see if we grab some liquidity off this 569.51 before we maybe either bounce off for some more upside, or if we go directly back down to the 5. But in the short term, the 20 and the 5 looking like these are our targets for right now. We're going to see which one. Premiums aren't that high right now, so premiums are a little bit calmed down. They're not as expensive as they have been, and so from the past few weeks, you know, it's been come to understand that when the premiums are elevated, that it implies that there's more volatility, and volatility means downside. So the premiums are a little cooled off. So now we're going to see if we have some upside. We're going to let the market tell us. We're going to allow the structure to play out. We're going to allow the setups to come to us, and we'll figure it out from there. But we have our targets in mind. We want to see if we retest this 569, or if we're going to go to the 571, and then we'll be able to build some structure from there. And our 20 days right here. This purple right here is our 20-day. That call's looking nice though. That call is looking nice. Yeah, we'll see if we want to tag the 20-day right here. So nothing's changed, same old game. We want to wait for a, you know, the ideal setup for the call would be the break, retest, and reject, right? So something like this. Same old setup, nothing's changed. We'll wait for it, but the calls look real nice right now. The calls look excellent. The calls look real nice right now. Let's let the early candles play out. I want to see how we react off of this 571.50. Those calls look real nice right about now. We're gonna see if this magenta holds up. Still early, don't front run anything, but oh man, those calls look. It was juicy a second ago. We'll see what happens. FOMO on those calls. Those calls. That call would have been hitting right now. Serious FOMO with those calls. I'm going to clean up this chart. We see what's going on. All right, let's see how we react to 571. We're thinking that the 20-day is going to be our target. Ideally, we'd like to see some retracement right here and then rejection off of this magenta to see if we're still continuing this uptrend in magenta. But we had significant upside overnight, or pre-market rather. Oh man, those calls look amazing. Simply amazing on those calls. But we'll play it safe. We'll play it safe. Let's see what we got. We know the 20 days most likely the target. Broke right through 571.50. Strong move. A lot of strength. And the 200 right above it. All right, let's see how we react off the 20. It's a 20 MA right here in the purple. Let's see how it reacts. On our 30-minute, let's see if we stay inside this green buying channel. Also, we want to see how we react off this magenta right here. I'll highlight it. So let's see if this magenta forms some type of support, which would coincide with the 20 MA. So in this precarious region here, let's say we break through the if we break through the 20, then we want to see if they want to grab liquidity off the 200 to drop it down. So your target, if it breaks, retest, reject off the 20, right, your safe take profit would be somewhere around here. But you know, you look to see how the structure plays out. Those calls from this morning, oh my god, or from earlier. FOMO. All right, let's see what we got. Let's see what happens right here. There's a lot of strength to the upside. A lot of strength to the upside. So our setup's gonna look like same thing. Break, retest, reject, something like that. Let's see if that plays out. I haven't confirmed this purple yet, so we'll see. So our puts are going to be somewhere around here. Our safe puts somewhere around, it's going to look like this. Otherwise, we're still looking for our normal setup, right? Normal setup is going to be the break, retest, and rejection off the 20. So we're going to have a 50-50 right here. A lot of volatility right now. It's right, we're at the 20, so we expected some movement here. So remember what our our setup for the call ideally would look like: the break of the 20, the retest, and rejection. Look at this volatility coming in right now. Exactly where the 20 is, right? We already expected this. So now let's see what we got. So if you hesitated on this flexion point, it's too late now. Now you're waiting for the break, retest, and reject, okay? No big deal. We prepared for this. If you're in the class yesterday, this is exactly what we went over yesterday. Trade protected. Your trade's protected. Even if you got in at the worst possible moment, your trade's protected. So if you're waiting for the break, retest, and reject, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Oh boy. A nice strong candle would be nice right now. A nice strong candle up would be nice. All right, our safest puts are going to be somewhere, let's see, somewhere over here. Our safe puts are going to be somewhere over here. So it looks like it might be break of magenta for the down. We're going to verify it shortly, but so far this magenta is holding up. A nice strong candle up would be nice right about now. We're going to see how this bear cycle, how far down it digs. Let's see how much retracement we get. So if you took this flexion point right here, your stop should be along this magenta. Let it play out, don't rush anything. I'm gonna clean the chart up just a bit so I can see what's going on right here. So if you're in the class yesterday, we went over this actually yesterday on the 5-day. We used the 5-day as the example on how you can expect a little bit of retracement, the bounce off the 20. We went over this yesterday. This is no surprise for us. We went over this. Your trade's protected. If it dumps right now, oh well, your trade's protected, right? If you took this flexion point here, come on now, look at them. Oh, all right, good trade, good trade. We can't expect, you know, I say take what you can. If it breaks this magenta, take what you can. Because the setup will present itself again, right? We're looking to see the break, the retest, and we're going to see if we reject. Simple. We want to see how far this bear cycle digs. Still didn't break magenta. Want to see how far this bear cycle digs. If it digs all the way down through the 20, or if it bounces off the 20 now. But if you took this flexion point, good money. Great money. Still don't see a purple forming yet. Again, we want to see how we react off the 20. So if you're waiting for the break, retest, and reject, we got to see how we react off the 20. The 20 is exactly on 572.41. We still didn't form a purple yet, so this trade's still good. But if you made quick profit, base hit, take it. Take it and run. I think, you know, maybe we're looking to see if the 200 is the next target. Now the 20 crossed under the 200, which normally that implies some downside, so we'll see. All right, looks like this purple's forming now. Now let's see how we react off the 20. And it'll be the same thing for the put side on the 20, right? So if we break below, retest and reject, same thing on the underside. That'd be the ideal, right? So right now we're looking to see, because the 20 is right here at this 572.41. So we're looking to see if it's going to do this, right? That's what we're looking to see, something like that for the upside. For the downside, same thing. We're looking to see if it does that, right? So because we're in such a strong uptrend, you don't really want to fight the uptrend too much. That's why your safest puts are going to be somewhere down here. I haven't confirmed this blue. So if it wants to head down, we want to look for this and this and this, something like that, right? Don't front run it. Give it time. Give it time. Around here is going to be a major level right here. So you know where your safe puts are, right? Somewhere down here. Somewhere down here is going to be your safe puts. Because look at your 5 minute, right? We're right here. This is the 50-50 right here. Just give it time. We're going to confirm to see whether if the blue is going to coincide with your 20. So far, I like the blue. It's not confirmed as yet, but I kind of like the blue. I may need to tweak it just a bit. We're coming up to 50-50, so don't, you know where your safer puts are, right? Somewhere down here. Because we're at a 50-50 on the 5-minute, right? So just give it time. You'll see it'll play out. Look at the 5-minute. Use the 5-minute to guide you. Do you see why we don't front run the put yet? This is why you don't front run the put. Just wait for it. I'm telling you where the safest one is going to be somewhere down here. That's the answer. Because we're looking out for this right here. Remember? So I'm telling you where the safe one is. On our 30-minute, we want to see how we react to this magenta right here. That's what we want to see, how we react to this magenta. And on the 5-minute, yeah, we want to get above 572.42. And on the 1-minute, it's 572.41. That'll give you some to maybe the break of blue. And the, is that the 20? Yeah, the 20 is it's somewhere in hiding in these candles right at this 572.41. Some confidence would be the break of the high a day. High a day is right here. Let me make a little line. So this candle right here, maybe, here, let me zoom in. This candle right here bouncing off the 20 could be an indication of something. This is going to be our major resistance right here. This can be our major resistance. Okay, so when I'm telling you to wait on your puts, somewhere down here is going to be your puts, right? You see why? This is why you don't front run it. You don't allow retracement to fool you, because retracement only gives you strength for the other direction, for the direction you're thinking. We're in an uptrend. You don't want to fight the trend, remember? Now let's see how we react off this 572.96, the high a day. It's actually too easy. It's actually too easy. We knew when the puts were. You knew where the puts were. Somewhere down here. Right? You knew this is your 50-50. We weren't even here. Look at your 5-minute. The 50-50 on the 5-minute. This is... You made good money. You made good money. Easy. It's too easy. Oh, goodness. Oh, my goodness. And don't be greedy. Take your money and get out. Right? Take your money. It's too easy. If you were in the class yesterday, this was the class from yesterday to a T. This was the class from yesterday. Amazing. We know not to go on puts until we get somewhere down here at this point in time. We had the 5-minute telling us. Come on. There's nothing more. There's nothing more. Let's look at our 30-minute. Right? Look how we're reacting off the magenta. Remember I said, let's see how we react off this magenta on the 30-minute. It's too easy. It's simply too easy. Take your money and get out. If you made money, take it and leave. I'm going to clean up this chart just a bit. Oh, wait, what the hell? We knew we were going to meet some resistance right here at high a day. That's why I put this line right here. So we want to look to see if there's going to be a retest of this blue and then rejection off the blue. Or if we stay inside this magenta, that'll be nice to continue this wave up. Because that means that this is playing out. You have a 5-minute chart. If you're in the class yesterday, you know that these retracement candles don't mean anything, right? Because if we're on the uptrend and we know that the magenta is our uptrend, then we need the break of magenta to get us out of our trade. This is the class from yesterday. We went, how long? 2 hours yesterday? We did this for 2 hours. And everything we did yesterday is playing out perfectly. Look at the hammer candle off the 20. It's hard to see, but it's in there, right? Hammer candle off the 20. We wanted to see the break, retest, and the rejection off the 20. This is easy. You don't even have to think too much. You knew where your puts were. Had to be somewhere down here. Specified that clearly. You're not going in on puts until down here. Why? Because we're waiting to see which one was going to play out. And then when you use your 5-minute chart to see what it needs. All right, look, your 30-minute chart. Where am I going? I have a big momentum candle pointing up. Where am I going? Probably up, right? Your 5-minute tells you how are we going to get there. It needs to do this. Your 1-minute tells you where you are in order for that to happen. This is how you use them all together. This is how you use them all together. You don't let these 2 red candles get you out. Why? Because it needs to do this in order to move up. You're not getting out until the break of this magenta. We went over this yesterday. Everything that just happened right now, we spent 2 hours on this last night. And if you hesitated on any of these moves, there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong. Now this is the learning lesson. This is the learning lesson. You're seeing it happen in real time. So if you're in the class last night and you're seeing what's happening right now, use both of these lessons. You got to put both of them together. The 30-minute tells you where we're going. The 5-minute tells you how we're going to get there. The 1-minute tells you where you are right now. So if right now we were below this, then we're looking for the other setup on the 5-minute, right? It was like this. That was the other setup on the 5-minute. But because where we were right now was rejecting or breaking this blue, also rejecting off the 20-day, right? The 20-day is right here with this rejection candle. And I even said, look at this candle here. Look at this candle. That's a telling candle. Not only is it a hammer candle, but it also broke the blue. And now we're in the uptrend above the magenta. You don't need to get out until breaking magenta. We went over this. All of this we went over yesterday for 2 hours. To a T, perfectly. Everything played out perfect. You couldn't write it. You couldn't write it any better. Absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. Look at this money. And we also know that if you want the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. If you want the 15-minute money, you got to wait 15 minutes. So you're asking yourself, well, what gives you the confidence to wait and not get out on this candle? This is what giving you the confidence. right? This is what's giving you the confidence. I know I got some upside coming in. I know I see how we're going to get to that upside. Where am I right now to make sure which one's happening? You have to put all these things together all at the same time. But, you know, we were here doing it together. I told you exactly where the puts were going to be over here. So if you went on puts here expecting a big dump, that, you know, there's nothing more I can do. We went over this yesterday. I'm telling you exactly where your safest puts are. And the reason why I did that was because of this 5 minute. We had a 50-50 here if it was going to head down. But your 1 minute tells you exactly where you are right now. This is too easy. Look at the money. Look at this money. Every day. Every single day. Look at it. It's too easy. Look, bounce off the 20-day. Look, it broke, retested, and rejected. You know, I literally told you this was going to happen. Or what to look for. It's going to break the 20-day. The 20-day is right here. You can see it right here. It's going to break, retest, and reject. Simple. All right, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. I think I see another. All right, let's see. Let's keep it going. You didn't miss anything. Don't worry. You didn't miss anything. When this green breaks, that's when we're looking for puts with some structure, right? When the green breaks, that's when we're looking for puts with the proper structure. The safest ones are going to be somewhere down here. Your safest puts are going to be somewhere down here. Now, if you can't wait for whenever this happens, then, you know, there's nothing I can do about that. I'm telling you where your safety is for puts. Now, if it dumps right now, okay, that's fine. I'm telling you the safety. It's somewhere down here. That's the answer. I'm giving you the answers to the test. Now let's see how, you know, if we tag this 200. You don't have to take every single candle, every single little move. You don't have to do that, right? You should be sharpening your skill by paper trading. If you're unsure, then if you get that weird feeling inside, like, if you are feeling it's too risky or you're hesitating, take a step back, paper trade. Or if you don't even want to paper trade, write it down. I would have entered right here at this point in time. I would have wrote it for this many candles. This is when I want to got out. And you got to be honest with yourself. So don't think, oh man, I didn't take that trade. And, you know, he drew it out. He told me, he said it. You can't think like that. Because if this is going to be a business, you are learning the business. Right? You don't just get the keys to the business and say, all right, figure it out on your own. You're learning the business. You're building your ability to have that confidence. So don't feel FOMO right now. Don't feel, well, now I need to take the next trade. I'm telling you where the puts are. I'm telling you, somewhere over here. That's the answer. But you have to consider this. We're in a strong uptrend. Right? We're in a strong uptrend. So don't force puts. You should be looking for the long. You should be looking for the calls, I mean. The puts are going to be safe down here. I'm telling you. So get it out of your mind, right? Get it out of your mind. You got to look for the long entries until we're getting somewhere down here. Then you start looking for the put setups. This is the answer. It's clear. It's very clear. Ignore this blue. I haven't confirmed this blue yet. I'm assuming it should be somewhere up here. Let's see if it forms here. If we start breaking this, green right here, the highlighted one, then you start, watch, we're gonna go through it. If we break this green, watch how easy this is gonna be. If we start breaking the green, it's gonna start rejecting off the blue. Watch. And I recommend if you're hesitant, if you didn't take any trades, that's fine. But if we break this green, I want you to see how the setups look like. So take today and just take a learning, right? We're going to take a learning day. We're going to get below this green. We're going to start to form this blue. And we want to see below the green rejecting off the blue. Watch. If we get to this point, don't front run it. Don't force anything. Because what we do know is that we have this right here. This. So we're looking out for that, right? So don't force anything. That's why you wait for the structure to play out. You don't have to force anything. And if you didn't take a trade, there's nothing wrong with that. Right? There's nothing wrong with that. You have to wait for the setup you are comfortable with. Because we do this every single day. Every single day. And if you're taking it as a business, this move, this bounce off the 20 to right here, that's all. You can be done for the day and make a living off of this. You could be done for even on one contract. You could have been done for the day to make a living off of this, even on one contract. So understand that. You know, I don't know what your expenses are. You might live a lavish lifestyle, maybe 2 contracts, but what I'm saying is that if you take it serious and you take it as a business, then, you know, you're not going to, that fear that we talked about yesterday, that fear is going to go away. So this, somewhere down here is going to be, or, you know, ideally somewhere over here is going to be some stuff, right? We're going to see what happens around here, around this area. There's no trading in here, right? You can't take any trade here. We have no setup. You know, it might be bounce off green, break a blue for the ups for some more upside to retest the 200, but there's no setup as of yet. So break a blue for the up, break a blue for the up. We'll see if that continues. Build in purple, break a blue for the up. But we're not thinking about puts until you're safe puts somewhere down here. You start thinking about it when we break this green. That's the answer. That's the answer. So you can get puts out of your mind until this structure sets up, because you'll understand that the structure dictates where the price is going to go. So it's not that I can predict where the stock market is going to go. It looks like that, but I just know what it needs to look like in order for it to happen. And you'll get there. Don't force it. You'll get there. Use the guidance I'm giving for right now. And you see that if you want the moves, you can't be in and out 30 seconds, right? Once you see that structure set up, You're gonna have to wait at least, you know, 5-10 minutes maybe. You get up, you take your trade, you get up, walk away. Walk away, don't even look at it. If you get stopped, oh well. That's the cost of doing business. It costs to be a boss. So on this 30-minute, I'm interested to see if we get below this magenta right here. I think I have a highlighted. I do. I want to see if we get below this highlighted magenta on this 30-minute. That should also indicate that we're out of this buying channel. It should coincide with being outside of the buying channel. So here's our 30-minute telling us, giving us some idea of where we're going. Let's do the 5-minute setup. Let's do the 5-minute setup. This would be the ideal. I'd like to see more strength up like this. If this is all it's going to give us, then it's going to be like that. Otherwise, okay, now look at your 5-minute chart. This is the path. This is what's going to happen. It's either going to do what is it? This, or it's going to bolt up from here. That's the answer. But you shouldn't be looking for puts. Start thinking about puts. Break of this green. Wait for the setup on the break of this green here, where this shoulder is. So for me to say break a blue for the up, yeah, I know I said that, but I personally would like it to dig a little bit deeper before break a blue for the up. Personally, that's what I would like. Do we always get that setup? No. So this setup didn't meet my requirement for the up. Doesn't mean I'm right. It just means I like the ideal setup. And if it's not there, I don't need to take it. I don't need to chase every single break of blue, every single break of green. I don't need to chase that because it has to look like what I want. And if it doesn't, then oh well. And if it shoots up, then I miss it. Oh well. Oh well. Because I'm trying to protect against a stop hunt here. So I know I see a key level at 572.96. So, you know, I'm going to let some structure set up. I'm going to let it set up. This is why I didn't take this break of blue here. Because, you know, I prefer it to dig a little bit deeper inside this blue. That's just the way I prefer it. Now, if it rejects off of this, that'll be the break, retest, and reject off of blue. Maybe I'm thinking something different then. but I like it to dig a little bit deeper before break a blue. And now I know I'm getting close to this green. So there's no trade right here. There's no trade right here. We don't have to chase every single candle. And this is why I didn't chase this break a blue here. Because for me, the ideal would be somewhere down here. If it was going to break, somewhere down here. Now, because it did break the blue, what I want to look for is the break, retest, and reject off the blue. That's what I'm looking for. And even still, even still. So let's look at our 5 minute. Yeah, you're in no man's land here. There's no trade here. There's absolutely no trading here. It's going to be under here for puts. Your safest puts are going to be under here. This is how you preserve your money. Your safest calls are going to be somewhere up here. Watch. This is in no man's land. And if it dumps from here, then we miss it. Oh well. Now we're at the 50-50. So if it wants to head down, I want to see something like this to give me some confidence. I want to see a strong move down, some retracement and rejection off this blue to give me some confidence for the move down. Otherwise, there's no trade. That's how I look at it. So I know the resistance is right at 573.33-ish. So the risk to reward here, is it worth it? Not really. Not really. I'm not really convinced with that. So again, and I'm saying that because I mean, if I take this, okay, well it broke the blue. 50-50 for the upside, is it worth it? Because your high of day is right here, 532. So, that's a tough call. That's why it's a 50-50 right here. We are at the 50-50. Now I want to see if we start rejecting underneath this key level here. If this key level forms some type of support, meaning upside, okay, which should coincide with keeping the green intact. So that's why I said I want to see the break of green. You see how it all makes sense now? All of this makes sense now. I'm not convinced for this up yet because the risk to reward just isn't there. It's not just, oh, well, it broke this and it broke. There has to be the proper setup. Because look what's happening. So now I'm wondering, is this the rejection underneath 572.96? I don't know yet. Don't know yet. Once we break this, then I'm going to start thinking, oh, okay. Then I'm going to start looking for put setups underneath here. That's the answer. Until then, we're bouncing in this green up here. Just let it play. Don't rush anything. Let it play. Do you see why I said wait for the break of green before we even start thinking about puts? This is why. We have to wait for this break of green before we even start thinking about puts. Our safest puts are going to be down here. This is why. It's happening right here in front of you. Now you see how we identify risk. Now you see. It's very simple. You actually can't mess it up. And if you remember, I said I'm not going to go in on this break of blue. Why? Because I like it to dig deeper. And then I put a bullseye. Then I put a bullseye. I like it to dig deeper. I put a bullseye where I'd like it to get to before it broke. Look, you can't make it up. Look. And I told you, I'm not even thinking about puts until we get below the green. And I highlighted it. We never went below the green. There's nothing more I can do. I don't know if anyone remembers me saying I would like this to dig deeper. I put a bullseye. I said I'm not thinking about puts until under this green. I said I'm not going to go in on this blue because I'm not convinced right here. I want it to dig deeper. It dug deeper. I put a bullseye where it needs to go before the break of blue. Look what happened. You can't make it up. You just can't make this up. I'm going to clean this chart. Are you understanding now my thought process? Are you seeing what I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing, but you have to listen to my words. We're not going in on puts until minimum break. I'm not even thinking about puts until break of this blue. Break of this green. I know break of blue is the setup for the upside, right? This didn't convince me. I wanted it to dig deeper. I put a target where I wanted it to dig. It broke the blue at that target. Look at the money. It's very simple. You don't go in on puts until... It's very simple. And now when it breaks this, what is it? This magenta, then I'll take my profit. Very simple. It's very, 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 very simple. I put a 50-50 that if it breaks below this, it didn't. It broke the blue. Simple. Every single day. Every single day. Look at the money. We already knew what the target was going to be. What's the target? What is this? The 200. We already knew that. We already knew the target was a 200 once we broke the 20. Now let's see how we react off the 200. So if you're waiting, wait for the break, retest, reject off the 200. It's very simple. You don't have to think about it again. So if this 5 minute plays out, right? This is what we're looking for, right? This is how we're trying to get to the up. This is where we are now. So this level right around here is going to be important to tell us which direction. Remember how I said I wanted to see how we react off of this magenta? Look, we rejected off the magenta. We rejected off the magenta. The 30 minute tells you where we're going. The 5 minute tells you how we're going to get there. The 1 minute tells you where you are. Do you see how it all works together? We just did this yesterday. We spent 2 hours doing this. Which is specifically why I said we're not thinking about puts until minimum this. Minimum. That's just the answer. Your safe puts are going to be somewhere down here. But we're not thinking about the put setup until this. Right? Like, I'm actually telling you the answer. Okay, now we wait for the next setup. Now we wait for the next setup. I want to see how we react off of this 573.35. Look at the 5-minute chart. Look at the 5-minute chart. There, right? Look at the 5-minute chart. You had your bullseye. Your puts were underneath this 572. It never hit underneath 572 on the 5-minute. Are you starting to see the pattern now? So this green is still in play. The green is still in play. So if you're taking breaking magenta, you know, well, number one, profit target, first one's going to be right here, because we want to look to see if this bolt up is going to play out. Number two is going to be profit target 2 right here. All right, let's let this play out. Don't rush anything. Wait for the structure to set up. We're going to see if we reject the 200 or if we break, retest, and reject off the 200, right? This is our class. These are our classes. Like the class, what is it? The class before? The Sunday before last Sunday? 2 Sundays ago. This was the class. The exact class. So if you took breaking magenta, then that means your profit target 1 is right here, right? Because you have to watch out for this bolt up. If it breaks this profit target 1, then your profit target 2 is going to be the green. Very simple. And also, the breaking magenta coincided with the rejection off the 200. So, don't get greedy. Take your profit. Take your profit when you see it. Because there's always another setup. It's always there. Because we're in an uptrend, you want to look for, we're not looking for puts until here. Right? And minimum we're not looking for until we break this green. It's highlighted. Nothing's changed. But if you're risky like that and you want to do the MA play, this is how you play it. This is how you play it. So your question at the MA should be, are we rejecting underneath the 200? That's your question. Because your calls aren't going to be until break, retest, and reject. We already know this. We already know this. And if it starts rejecting underneath the 200, we're looking for this. Watch. We're looking for that. Whenever that happens, that's what we're looking for. If that happens, that's going to be your indication. Right? Don't front run it. You know where your calls are. It's going to be break, retest, reject of the 200. You know where your puts are. Starting to think about puts underneath the green. Right? Are we rejecting off the 200? This is our class. Perfectly. This is our classes. Look. It's too easy. It's too simple. We know exactly where the risk is. Exactly. Here, I'll put this back up. So we're in no man's land. There's no trade right here. Your safe puts somewhere down here. Idea for puts, break of this green. And you'll see why that is. Let it play. There's no trade here. We're in no man's land, right? For the calls, we're waiting for the break, retest, reject. For the puts, we're not even thinking about puts until break of this green. Safety down here. Break, retest, reject to the 200. Simple. Here we go. If you applied the class yesterday we just went over this, right? How to apply the stop loss. Here it is. Watch. If you went in on this flexion point here, your stop loss should have been where do we say? At the low, at the last low. If you're buying a call, your stop loss is at the last low. Your trade is now protected. Your trade's protected. If you get stopped out now, you lose nothing. You lose absolutely nothing. This is the class we did yesterday. Hours ago, we just did this class. If you went in on this flexion point here, right? Your stop loss has to be at the last low. If you're buying a call, where was the last low? Down here. And you're trailing it up the green. Your trade is protected now. This is the class from yesterday. We just did. Look at the money. Look, it's happening right in front of your face. And if you're waiting for the proper call, then it would be break, retest, reject. But if you took this flexion point, I gave you the sauce yesterday. We just went over this. I told you exactly where to put your stops. So this doesn't fool you, because we don't let green candle or red candles fool us in the opposite direction. Why? Because we know what needs to happen. We know that the retracement gives us strength for the upside. If you're buying calls, the retracement gives us strength. If you went in on calls here expecting a bounce because I drew it, then you know your stop loss has to be at the last low. Look at it play out perfect. We just did the class yesterday. It's actually too simple. If you're getting stopped out, it's because you're not following the lessons. That's the answer. There's no reason to get stopped out here because we went over it yesterday. And I'm repeating myself because you need to hear the repetition so you gain the confidence. Your trade is protected. You lost nothing. Matter of fact, move it in some profit. Move it into a little bit of profit because now we're at the 200. Move it into some profit so you cannot lose. It's impossible to lose. If you follow everything I'm saying and realize that certain things have to happen. And when these things happen, you have a high likelihood of success on the other side. This is the class from yesterday. We went over stop loss ad nauseum. I'm actually gonna edit it and post it for those who weren't able. It's 2 hours, but look at the value. Look at the value. Everyone from yesterday who was in the class knew if you're going in on this flexion point, your stop loss has to be below the last low. And then what do you have to do? Wait. Patience. The trade is protected. You cannot lose now. Now you can't lose. And if you want to wait for the break, retest, and reject off the 200, fine. That's the ideal, right? That's the ideal setup. But if you wanted to take this because, whatever, because you're applying some classes, then I don't blame you. Trade protected, you can't lose. You're actually in profit. Even if it dumps right now, you're actually in profit. Whew. Now let's see how we react off the 200. Let's wait for the next setup. So your question is, are we breaking, retesting, and rejecting off the 200? That's going to be the question. That's what you should be asking yourself. Does it want to dig deeper back down to the green before it goes up? We don't know. But we know what it needs to look like. If you took this and got stopped out for break even, oh well, you broke even. You took the risk. If you applied the classes properly, you know where your stop loss should have been. So this wouldn't have stopped you out. Impossible. We went over this yesterday to avoid that, to take unnecessary losses. Look at the money. Look at the money. Right? We don't let the retracement fool us. We went over this yesterday. We don't let the retracement fool us. Look at this money. Oh my goodness. Everything we did yesterday played out perfect. You did not waste your time yesterday. This is why we do it. Amazing. Take your money and get out. Take your money and get out. Impossible to lose. Take your money and get out. This is what I'm saying. If you hesitate and if you don't follow the strategy fully, that's when you lose. That's when you take unnecessary loss. That's when you take unnecessary loss. If you don't follow it fully, you can't expect to get, what are you going to get out of something you're not using properly? If you took the risk on this, you take the risk, but you minimize your risk by having conviction in the trade. Let it play out. We want to wait for the break, retest, and reject for the calls. That's what we're waiting for. Puts, we're not even thinking about puts until break of this green. Nothing's changed. Look at the 5 minute. Look at the 5 minute. All you had to do was look at the 5 minute, you are making money. Look at the 5 minute. I told you exactly where to buy the calls. Exactly where to buy the calls. Look at, I pinpointed it actually. I actually pinpointed on the 5 minute where to buy your calls. There's no excuse. Look, bro. There's nothing more I can do. There's nothing more I can do. You have to take this as a business. This isn't a hobby. If you're taking it as a hobby and you're gambling, okay, that's on you. I can't do anything about that. Look at this 5 minute. I pinpointed, what candle is this? At 11. Impossible to lose. Even if you get stopped out right now. If you take the proper, if you don't hesitate, we went over this yesterday. When you don't hesitate, you will give yourself the ability to at least break even. At least you can break even. That's what you're giving yourself the ability to do. So if the trade doesn't go in your way, you break even, you lose nothing. Or, you could have got something out of this. Out of this bounce right here, you could have got something. Now, here's the thing. We're at the 200 MA. There's a lot of liquidity built up. A lot of liquidity built up at the 200 MA. There's so many trades going on right now. Is it going to break and just shoot up, or is it going to shoot down? This is where we're at. We don't know. But we know where the safe puts are. Somewhere down here. That hasn't changed. The safe calls are going to be break, retest, reject. That hasn't changed. None of that's changed. There's some divergence coming in right now. Bearish divergence coming in. Bearish divergence. Let's see. Look at the money. Look at the money. You can't lose. You actually can't lose. Protect your trade. You know, ideally, we'd like to see some more push. Oh, what am I? Hold on. Ideally, we'd like to see some more liquidity build, retest, and then reject. That's the ideal, right? If you took this flexion point, your stop had to be down here at the last low. Now you're trailing it up this green. You know, you should be taking, you know, I'd be taking profit, but I'm showing you where the risk is. Now, I am seeing some bearish divergence coming in. We're going to see if it's a fake out. Bearish divergence. If it does happen, this is some reading the tea leaves. Is going to be around this this time right here, 11:21. That's just tea leaf reading. There's nothing behind that. Don't read too far into that. Reading the tea leaves. If it is going to be a bearish divergence, 11:21, somewhere around here. If not, and we bounce off the 200, even better. Don't get caught up in this chop. Wait for better setup. Right? We want to see a stronger a stronger break, retest, reject. If it doesn't happen, if we don't get the strength, then oh well. But if we're seeing, let's see, what the heck? It's hard to tell if this is enough strength for some more upside. It's hard to tell. So if you're taking the break, retest, reject to 200, your stop has to be at the 200, right? Now we're at the 21. Let's see if this bearish divergence is going to play out or if it's going to be a fake out. Also, you have to consider we're at 11 into the market, and this is normally the compression time, right? So the morning is when we get our moves. The compression time's hitting right now. If this bearish divergence hits right here, come on now. Oh goodness. Oh my goodness. If this bearish divergence hits exactly on 21, we're gonna see if it breaks below 200. If this bearish divergence hits exactly at 21, are you not entertained? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. No. All right. Let's see if it's going to be a fake out. We're at the 200. This is such a precarious point right here. But if this is a bearish divergence right here on this 21, exactly where I said it would be, oh goodness. There's no trade here because, you know, we don't know if we're going to bounce off the 200 or if this bearish divergence is going to play out. Let's see what happens on this. I'm not totally convinced on this blue yet. We'll see how this blue plays out. We'll see how this blue plays out. If we start rejecting underneath the blue and underneath the green, then you know what to get ready for. Then you know what to get ready for. But until then, you know, there's still a lot of liquidity built up on at the 200, so there's no trade right here. We'll wait for the proper setup. What does a proper setup look like? A strong break, retest, reject of the 200. Or, I mean, we already have it highlighted, right? We're going to start thinking about puts around here. That's the answer. Let's see how we react to this blue. I'm not totally convinced of the blue, but we'll see right now. We will see. Don't rush it. It was hard to trade today a little bit, right? Kind of hard. It's not giving you a lot of sidestepping. But there was big movement in the pre-market. Look at this big motion up, so that gave us an idea of the direction the market wanted to head. Also, I said in the beginning that the premiums are a little bit lower, right? Premiums lower, less volatility. All right, so bearish divergence at 1121. Oh, goodness. I'd be a little bit more comfortable underneath this green. A little more comfortable underneath the green. And then let's see. Longer term. Yeah, we're just solid in this green. We're just solid in this green. The safe puts are going to be somewhere down here. Unless I told you exactly. At 1121, there's going to be a bearish divergence. Oh my goodness. I'll be a little more confident. You know, I'm going to start to move. I'm moving along the blue. I'm moving along the blue now. Trade protected. Let's see how we react to this green. This green's going to be a major level. This green's going to be a major level. Okay, I told you the time. You can't make it up. 1121 is when I told you the bearish divergence is coming in. Look at what. Come on. Come on. Look at. Are you not seeing what's happening right now? Do you not see what's happening? I told you. Let's say you got it wrong here. Look, I told you at 1121 there's going to be bearish divergence. I told you the time. I specified the exact time. Oh, trade protected. Trade is protected. Look at the money. Come on. Give me some more. We can't ask for a lot because this is key level right here. 573.35. So now we're thinking about puts, right? Now we're thinking about puts. We're starting to think about it. Our safety puts somewhere over here. Somewhere over here. Now we're thinking about it. We haven't confirmed anything. This is how we minimize our risk. This is how we minimize the risk. Now I'm going to be out once this breaks. From 1121 to right now, if you made money, take your money. If you took that bearish divergence that I said, I mean, I gave plenty of notice on that. Nothing more I can do about that. Take your money. Easy. Easy claps. Easy claps. Good trade. Good trade. And if it dumps from here, oh well. I got something. When you're doing a lot of contracts, it adds up. Look at all this. Look at all that. Come on. Easy trade. Good money. Should I have held a little bit longer? Yeah, probably. But there's more opportunities. Ain't going nowhere. So now, if this is going to be a thing, we want to wait. We want to look for this. Something like that. Let me draw a little bit better. Something like that. All right, let's look at our 5 minute. I'm I'm going to clean this 5 minute up. Yeah, I'm going to clean up this whole 5 minute real quick. Oh goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. There it is. Easy. Take your profit when you can. Take your profit when you can. Oh goodness. Break a blue. For single contracts, break a blue. Oh, it's so glorious. Take your profit and move. I mean, I told you at 11:21, the bearish divergence is going to come in. I told you at 11:21, and I said this, I don't even know how far in advance. At 11:21, I told you bearish divergence. There's nothing more I can do. I told myself when I started this that I wouldn't tell people, when to buy and sell and stuff like that. I'm just showing risk, but I need you guys to win. When I'm telling you bearish divergence at 11:21 and 11:21 hits, come on now. 11:21, you can't make it up. Look at the money. Come on, let's go. So glorious. So glorious. Now, still nothing's changed. Our safer puts are going to be somewhere over here. We're thinking about them here. This is the setup here. We're seeing if we break, retest, and reject this 200. I will be right back. Okay, let's see what the next setup is. Here we go. Here we go. All right, we're going to use the 5 minute to guide. Let's see what this 30-minute has to say. You see why I said the safe puts somewhere underneath here? This is why. This is why these are the safe puts somewhere underneath here. Take your profit when you can. If you took this bearish divergence, you take your profit. So now we're seeing if we are going to reject underneath the green. Let's see what we got. Let's look for the next setup. There's always a setup. Just gotta wait for it. Let's see. We need to get below 573.35 for the rejection underneath the green. Who's not entertained? Who's not entertained by now? Oh my goodness. My goodness. All right, we know we're going to meet some resistance right here. 573.35. We already knew that. Come on, give me a little bit more. A little bit more. I want to close below 573.35. Oh my goodness. Here we are. Look at this. Look at the money. I'm gonna clean it up just a little bit. Remember, I had this here a long time ago. It was like that. Something like that. It's too easy. It's too easy. Let me all right, let me set it up again. All right, so it's green and yellow. I believe this yellow to be a thing. I believe this yellow to be a thing. So if we break above this yellow, we want to wait for a break, retest, reject above this yellow. Let's let it play. So for the up, it looks like it's going to be build in blue, break a yellow. Build in blue, break a yellow, and then when it breaks yellow, you want to see this. Right? That's your up scenario, okay? That's the answer. And then for your down, I want to see it build in magenta and break green. You see where the 50-50 is? See where the 50-50 is on your 1 minute? Let's look at the 5 minute. Damn near the same area, so. So ideally we like to see break a yellow for the up, break a green for the down. Don't force anything. Just let it play out. Don't force anything. You know what the setup is. You know what the setup is. We like to see this green right here. We like to see this green. So how long this is going to take? I don't know. How long this is going to take? I don't know. But that's what the setup is. If you do anything beyond that, can't do anything. Can't help you. We're seeing big resistance. I want to see a rejection underneath 573.35. Because closing below wasn't enough. I want to see a rejection underneath 573.35. That'll give me some confidence for some downside. And we might hang around the 200 all day for the rest of the day, just dancing in between it. So if that happens, we're done for the day. We made good money. We made excellent money today. That bearish divergence that I said at 11:21. 11:21, where is it? Right here. That was, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better call out. You actually couldn't ask for a better call out in this bearish divergence, and I pinpointed it. Can't ask for a better one. Doesn't get any better. All right, we know what the setup needs to look like, right? Break of purple, break of yellow, break, retest, reject, which should also correlate with the break, retest, reject of the 200. Which would line up perfect, right? Because the 200 is at this yellow right now. Let's see what we got. Back at the 200. We're just hanging around this 200. If you're up for the day, call it a day. Even if you're down, learn the lesson. Let's see if we got a fake out going on or if it's going to reject underneath this green. So rejecting underneath this green should coincide with this yellow right here. So we're going to see. We don't know. So this yellow is going to be a big deal. So we know where our put scenario is, right? Somewhere down here. Ideally down here. We know where the call scenario is, right? Somewhere up here. Ideally with a break, retest, reject of the 200. It's just, you know what? I just see the 200 being played, right? It's just dancing off the 200. And also for this break of yellow, I like to see some strength out of it. I like to see like a strong move. Excuse me. Let me redo that. I want to see a strong move out of it. I want to see it form another blue like that, right? Another blue needs to form somewhere. That's what I like to see ideally. We'll see what happens. We might just dance at this 200 all day. Don't know. This looks like a pretty strong candle though. Yeah, looks like we got a 50-50 probably right here. I'll be right back. I got another few minutes on here, and then I'm gonna head off. I'll leave you guys with the setups for the end of the day. Give me a moment. I'll be right back. Okay, Discord, I left you with your setups. If it just trails in between, if it just does this all day, so be it. Right? I'm telling you where the safe ones are. Your best option for your puts is over here. The best for the calls is going to be some